I often get asked, what is HS158? And I would say, in a nutshell, HS158 is probably one of those integrated courses that, instead of just book learning, where you're actually got a lecture, you memorize, and you take a test, it's an interactive opportunity for us to take all of the new media technology that's out there, the things that people are doing every day, from texting each other to tweeting, to digital media, to posting on YouTube, to chatting on Facebook, and blending it into a learning mechanism that really encompasses real life. At the same time, we package it in a way that gives back to the community. All of the projects that we do are actually set up around a community need. So we go to different projects, we go to different nonprofit organizations, we go to the government, the local governments, boys groups, girls groups, pretty much anybody who asks, and we find out, what do you need? Are you ready for the 21st century technology moment? And we're here to actually create something for you, something for your Facebook pages, something for your website pages. So it's not just flat learning, it's actually engaged learning in real time with community partners in the San Jose and in the Bay Area and San Francisco fully, because we've expanded. So we're not just the Bay Area in terms of our limitations. We've done everything from the federal government to next door to the campus. It would have been great if you had more training, but that's exactly what this class is going to be doing. You're going to be walking into real life professional experiences in the future, and we don't have the money to go on trainings. We don't have the money to send people out on how to. So what do? You leverage what time you have. You say to your boss, I need 10 hours off a week. I'm going to be learning this at home. I'm going to do this myself. Or you volunteer. I'll do it. Let me learn how to do it. Give me work hours. You have gone to a place where, with not a lot of edits, these are payable quality material. When I figured out what the costs could be for all the effort that we've now given back, last year was almost $70-something thousand in hours and time and quality. When I compared this to other PSAs of the duration, of the style, of the length, I think we've actually hit about $90,000 worth of value this year.
So our goal is to make the teaser, to get everyone excited for health, science, and recreation combining. It's a really big deal, and I didn't realize how awesome it would be, but you'll see in just a sec. The poster that we make, anyone in this room can make. You guys have all made lovely posters as well. But the best part is, anyone can do this. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the sampler that we worked on all semester to make, just for you, that we're going to display at Convocation to represent health, science, and recreation combined.
in recreation therapy, play is our medicine. And to me, that's a lot of fun. Because everyone likes playing. If you're not having fun, you're not playing.
You know, I often hear, you know, what's the best stories and the memorable experiences on teaching 158? And there are several. Probably the ones that come to mind the most are when I get a call a semester later or a year later saying, oh my God, I got a job because of what I could do. We've had students enter federal competitions for H1N1 or avian flu. We've had students who've taken what they learned and they've gone on and been able to get social media jobs in local nonprofits. So for me, the best experience is actually not in the moment when students graduate, because I think there's so much going on in your lives when you graduate that you really don't appreciate it. But it's not until you walk in and you're in an interview and somebody said, oh, you know how to make a digital movie? That's when I get that email or that thank you card or that nomination for whatever it might be that says, wow, this is really exciting. That's when I get excited. And it makes me put the extra effort in to kind of say, okay, I know you're already running so many credits, but let's do one more take, or let's edit this one more time to really get to that place. We have several really stellar projects over the history of 158. Some are actually currently being used in national promotions on local websites, as well as some that were the birthing place for the future. Some that didn't quite make it, but they inspired the students so much that in itself that was the success. I don't really have a least experience when it comes to 158, but I do have challenges that the students and I look to overcome. You know, we're not a mass communication program, so when we go to borrow equipment, it's really a challenge because we're always low person on the totem pole. If IRC doesn't have any equipment left because there's a big mass comm event and the students all have it, we may not necessarily have anything. So we've really worked with students to use what we have. Over the last few years, I've had the opportunity to do consulting, and I was able to put money aside. So we have a bunch of cameras that I bought that I kind of bring with me to the class, and other tools, you know, audio mics, still photography, so that we can lend out. But I think that the challenge is it's such a new component that the equipment around technology is just something we don't own. The other piece was a challenge, which now the university is supporting us this year for the first time, is making the Adobe Photoshop suite of software available at a reduced cost for students. So it's really manageable. So now with almost 100 students, I can encourage students to spend that student fee and take advantage of that Adobe Photoshop student cost and work with that really stellar programs and utilize it. So that's always been a deficit, is we didn't have access, and we were really, you know, trying to create stuff with things people already had. So it's kind of a good and a bad. The other least experience, you know, it's the nuts and bolts. It's a 1 day a week course. I don't get, you know, it's not a 3 times a week. It's really the kind of course I wish I had, you know, 30 students in, but we've got, you know, anywhere from 85 to 100 every semester. So that means I don't get as much one-on-one time with groups. But in the end, we try and do as much as possible. We audio record lectures. We do online appointments to make it easier. We often now can do Skype calls, and now with Skype Premium, we can actually do, you know, I can have an entire group. I set my group numbers to be the maximum for Skype group conference. And then, of course, now that San Jose has really launched into WebEx, we're actually going to be able to utilize more of its own in-house technology for building into the future of 158. So it's not least favorite, it's just all about one more thing to overcome. You know, in 5 years, my dream is to see that 158 isn't so much its own course, but that it's actually part of the entire curriculum of the health science recreation program. It's set up that all of this new media technology is embedded, it's integrated as a learning tool not only for students but for the faculty, because it encompasses real life expertise now. You can't get a job anymore and not know how to use a computer, not know how to use YouTube or digital imaging. Every fundraiser, in order to sell that fundraiser and bring more money, people want photographs. They want to see the live experiences right up front. The way to do that is that real life moment. I took a picture and I posted it on Twitter because I want more people to show up. So in 5 years, who knows, maybe there'll be a whole new technology piece to add to it, but by then to see it more and more integrated. And we've already got examples. There are several classes that are already integrating technology into its curriculum, so it just changes from year to year.
The advice that I would give future HS158 students would be to start talking to their hosts as soon as they can, start envisioning what kind of project they would like to present to the class, what they would want to do, and some of the ideas that can be brought up on the table with the rest of the team.
I would say plan, because you should always have a plan B to your plan A just in case if it falls through. Like normally it does. Like for us, we had several plans, and luckily we have backup plans to help us.
I think the technology that was new to me this past semester when I took 158 was the SLR camera with the tripod and all the things, the essentials that come with it and how to use it, because I think it's important to know how to use a camera, because in the future when you're making programs or wanting to make an informational video, it'd be important to know how to use it and orchestrate it with the rest of the team that you're working with.
So some of the new technology we learned through 158 this semester was editing video through Mac. We were primarily PC users, so it was kind of interesting and new to try something on a Mac. And with Mac's iMovie video editing, we were able to do a lot more with like sound and like incorporating video and pictures with that.
Working with the students, with my group members, because it was very difficult for all of us to get together, and because we all had different things to do in our daily lives, so I think we had to be flexible, and that was one of the most important things that I've learned, was to work around everybody's schedule and get things accomplished on time. What I liked most was, because our project was based on interviewing the health science department, so I got a chance to meet one-on-one with each faculty member. I got to know their background and a little bit of their experiences and how they became the person they are today.
Through 158, the thing that Katrina and I liked most was working together with a bunch of new people, and we really bonded over the semester as a group. It's kind of like a little family. We meet once a week, we do our thing, and then we go to class, and then we have to communicate with each other.
And we eat food too. Like,
yeah.
We have Levi's, we have yoga lift, it's always food
There's
after.
a lot of like bonding time with that, and then it's cool because you get to do a project that is going to continue on even though after you're done with class.
Did you want to close with anything from a
Well,
chairman?
the only thing I would like to say is let's give it up for Frank Strona. And for Rebecca Kruger, who joined in this semester. I can guarantee there is no other class like this in the United States, because there's only one Frank. And only Frank could imagine this, only Frank would believe in brand new health science students, or pretty close to new, being able to do something as ambitious and huge as this. Only Frank would trust you all to go out and represent us with community hosts, many of which are his professional colleagues and peers. And every semester Frank tells me about in the middle that he doesn't know if he's coming back. This is like way too much. He's got a big life, a big career. This is too much. And then I come to the sampler and I see he's back. He's back because he's so proud of you. And just look at that smile. And so thank you for helping me keep Frank another semester. It's amazing. Thanks to all of you.